Hey there, it's Ingrid Blackburn, and look at what I've got here. Glacier Paste by Nuvo. These awesome pastes are a must-have, definitely in every crafter stash. We're going to play with the green envy here today. They usually come with this nice seal. You want to be careful when you're taking that off and disposing of it. But look at how gorgeous this paste is. I've got these great Nuvo spatulas, and look at how creamy and just pliable these are. They're so incredible. They're kind of like icing. I love them. They work so wonderfully, and this video is going to show you some great techniques on how to use this. These two are a must. The gold and the silver, absolute must for any crafter. Look at that shimmer. I mean, seriously. All that gold I added by just rubbing on with my finger or with a tool, and look at this just painted on. It's almost as if you just laid down gold leaf right onto your project. It's insane. You can even do flecking with it. I mean, you have to have these two in your stash. All 6 colors are listed down below along with all the other products. Let's dive right in. So we're going to use this really cool stencil. This is the Linking Circle Stencils by Tonic Studio, and we're going to do the partial stenciling technique. You're basically going to mask off a section, and in this case we're going to mask off a Christmas tree. And these stencils are awesome. That little tab at the top is very helpful when lifting your stencil off your project. You have no idea how helpful. We're going to use the Green Envy Glacier Paste, and like I said, this Glacier Paste is a dream to work with. It's very soft, it's very easy to work with, and you can see how quickly and easily it goes on through the stencil. Notice that I'm actually applying this using my silicone spatulas, but I'm also coming from my tape going inward. I'm not actually pushing up against the opposite side of the tape, and that's really key because this is such a pliable paste. It can very easily run underneath the edge of that, and I'm trying to avoid that. So that's kind of a key when working with this in a masking technique. You want to make sure to keep as much in your jar and then close your jar as well. This is a great product to use with your fingers to add a little something extra to your project, as you'll see towards the end. So be sure to stay tuned, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, and it creates such a really cool effect that has some texture and some lift to it, but don't discard all that excess that you see there on the tape. We're taking just another piece of scrap paper, and this ended up being my favorite out of the two. I'm basically taking my fingers and really working that excess paste that was left over that normally you would discard, and really making sure that I have no white left there through the stencil, and just kind of creating these ridges up against the edge, but coloring the tree as well. And look how gorgeous that is. It was so stunning. And very quickly and easily you have 2 projects. So you can either cut these out or use this as is and create a scene around that for some very cool Christmas cards. Now next up I have some of the golden era glacier paste, and I just wanted to kind of show you what it's like when you put it onto the white. It creates this real beautiful mica shimmer. There's a lot of mica in these pastes, and look at that, it's just absolutely gorgeous. But for the tops of this particular tree, since I'm just creating some embellishments for some cards, I wanted something with a little bit more impact. So I'm taking some Nuvo embellishment mousse, and this is Indian Gold. And the 2 colors that I feel that you need in your stash are Pure Platinum and Indian Gold. You can see that I actually took some out of the jar with a palette knife, and I'm using it with my fingers. You want to try to keep your fingers out of the jar. Over time, those oils can help contaminate that. And look how easy that spreads. It's an absolute dream. And basically what I'm doing is I'm creating my own foil paper. I'm just using regular white cardstock to put that on top, and I'm going to dry this and wait until you see the incredible shimmer. You can see I freehanded some stars on the back that I'm going to cut out for a wonky look. But look at this. It's almost as if I have gold leaf on my paper. And I have never found a product that has created that kind of a look. If you remember in the very beginning of the video, I showcased a couple of projects, and that had some of the golden era glacier paste like on the edges, or if you're using the Nuvo embellishment mousses in the background. I mean, you have some really cool products that give you something that's a little bit different. And there's actually over 24 embellishment mousse colors. I'm not exactly sure how many, but there's so many, and they're just so much fun to work with. The glacier pastes are very cool. You can see there, I just freehanded some wonky stars out, and that's going to be the tops of these Christmas trees, which you could leave onto a card base, or you could cut them out, as you saw me cut that one out. And then I'm also going to add some tree trunks, but I'm going to use another product. This right here is sparkle spray, and I have never found anything that gives as much sparkle as these little tiny bottles. You can see I'm swirling it. There's a lot of mica in those bottles to help create these really cool colors. So glimmery, so glittery. You can see I'm just applying it with a paintbrush to a piece of brown cardstock, and this is the cocoa powder sparkle spray. You want to dry that, and if you were to even spray this onto white cardstock, you could create the most shimmery effect. It's incredible. I highly recommend it. You definitely want to swirl it like you saw me do in the beginning. There's a little metal ball in there that helps to loosen up the mica, and you want to store them on their side. You can see when I did trim this tree, I did trim it rather close and then just used a pair of snips for the top, and then added my star and my base to it. They are the perfect embellishment for any card, and you can see actually right here, look at that gold on the sides of that card. That is the glacier paste. That's the golden era glacier paste. And there's also a little bit on the background that I just rubbed with my finger. This is an incredible project. You'll find real-time tutorials on both the paste and that background over on my Patreon channel. Till next time, bye-bye.